There's more than $1 million of new Kaspa mined daily, and now there is a new mining rig that has entered the game. This miner earns a lot of money per day. It mines about $70 of Kaspa coins daily. And to be honest, its price point is shocking. My name is Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at the iBeLink BM-KS, which is vying for being the best and most profitable mining rig in the world right now. We're going to compare it to the other models too, and some other information that you're probably really going to want to know about Kaspa mining. Proof's in the pudding. Kaspa is the second most profitable coin to mine when you look at the 24-hour emissions. Is it 1/40th of Bitcoin? Yes. Is there much less than 1/40th of the competition on Bitcoin? Yes. Is Kaspa mining going to be incredibly profitable in 5 years? Probably not. We'll talk more about that later, but the key thing is that the Kaspa network has not ballooned up in hash rate as much as most of us expected, right? So when the Asic miners came out, it was around 1 petahash. Now it's at 164. 164 times more difficult to mine Kaspa coins from then. But these mining rigs still prove to be very, very profitable, right? And so, you ask why. Why would I buy this miner? You would buy this miner because you would then own the asset. You think that it would earn more coins than it would burn in electricity, and that you would be able to pay off that initial investment on the miner, right? At least that's my point of view, how I look at this stuff, right? So then I own this asset, I hope that it appreciates as well in the future, within its reasonable lifespan. And then I start mining coins beyond, my initial cost. So at some point, I could have, bought, round numbers here, 1,000 Kaspa coins. Instead, I bought a miner for 1,000 Kaspa coins, and then I mine 1,000 Kaspa coins, I pay it off, and then I mine 2,000 Kaspa coins. And if I had never done any of that mining stuff, I'd still just be sitting on my 1,000 coins. Now I've got 2,000, but granted, I gotta pay off the miner, and I've gotta pay the electricity bill. But don't forget, you also now own this hardware. And the 1,000 Kaspa was just a round number thing, not literally 1,000 Kaspa coins at their current valuation. So, with that said and in mind, right, if you want to get into mining, you don't know anything, watch our 1-hour tutorial guide for beginners. This is a big boy miner, right? This operates on 240 voltage electricity. This thing is not going to be a quiet miner. Oh, but it's going to be profitable. Weighing in at basically 12 grand, right? And this is from Asic Marketplace. You can try to order directly from iBeLink, but I don't know anyone personally that does that. iBeLink is an interesting mining company that has been producing Asic miners for many, many years. And I'll talk more about iBeLink's typical kiss of death later in this video. But let's focus on the good news. 3,400 watts of power consumption at a whopping 10.5 terahash a second. This is better than competitors, right? But how much? Well, we look at the Bitmain antminer KS3, which is still, now they're selling miners that are brand new that are, they quote, ready to ship. Remember, if you're in the US, you buy direct from Bitmain, you're paying plus 25%, which is why, yes, Asic Marketplace is a sponsor of the VoskCoin YouTube channel, but let's compare these prices, okay? You could go over here and buy it before shipping and before tariffs for 13.1, or you could come over here and buy it at this price point. Granted, this one's out of stock right now, and the 7.3, so only the 9.4 is in stock, but take from that whatever you will. The key thing we're going to be looking at here is, and let's look at the bigger version, is 9.4 terahash a second at 3,500 watts. That means the iBeLink miner is better than the Bitmain antminer KS3 based on its stats. Furthermore, it's cheaper, significantly cheaper. It's 2/3 the price right now, and it just came out, right? I just got an email back from iBeLink asking some questions about the model, and just to be very clear, in particular, this is the BM-KS Max model, which I believe to just simply be the BM-KS as we know it, because the performance of it lines up. In particular, though, there's one key takeaway that I haven't seen elsewhere. So there's the normal mode, which they've clarified is 10.5 terahash a second at 3,400 watts. They are also developing a light mode, which is 8 terahash a second, consuming only 2,300 watts, and it's below 50 decibels when measured from 1 meter away from the fans. They have also stated that this light mode firmware is still under optimization, and this is just a preview of the performance. And they specifically state that this would be a good option to deploy in, say, something like your garage, where it would be a lower noise miner, but obviously still very profitable. Speaking of price drops, Iceriver just dropped a new batch of the KS0 Pros to order and dropped their price significantly. We're going to see a lot more mining competition in the Kaspa mining space, but $350, that's before you add a power supply, that's before shipping. We do have a coupon code VoskCoin active with them again, so if you do buy with Iceriver, please use our link and our code to support yourself and support the channel. If you'd like to buy one today that's in stock, ready to ship, Asic Marketplace also has stock of them, but they do carry a higher price point, but that's an all-in price point there as well. And how much does that little guy earn? Let's look at that. And remember, this is a public address I have that you can learn more about real-time mining profitability. We talked about the antminer KS3. It's mining about $60 a day right now, per my real-world mining data, not some mining profitability calculator. You compare that to the KS0 Pro, it's mining about $1.34. And remember, that's a machine that costs, depending on your electricity rate, like $5, $8 a month to run, maybe. Not very much. And many of these devices, including that one, can be overclocked. So make sure to subscribe as we dive into overclocking these Kaspa miners. And what we learn along the way, the pros and the cons, and some modifications you can make to enhance their cooling and further chase those overclocked gains. On the topic of all these Kaspa miners and ASIC models, do not forget that Goldshell is about to drop their small Kaspa miner, which is going to be one of their box series miners, as well as their big professional, they call it, industrial grade, looks like every other ASIC miner, Kaspa miner. So this means more competition. This means the network hash rate is going up. The mining profitability for all of these machines are going to continue to go down unless Kaspa rockets up in price point. And even furthermore, this means that the price per machine is going to continue to decrease as we have more and more miner manufacturers vying, right, to sell their machines. They want to sell as many shovels as they can. That's their business. So be advised, Goldshell.company is a scam. That's a scam! If you Google Goldshell Kaspa miner, you will find this result. If you buy from this, okay, warning, it's a scam. You will lose your money. So we sit here and wait for the real specs for this thing to come out. I think Goldshell is going to be dropping their miner any day, because this BM-KS, the first leaks of this started coming out over the last couple of days, and this has a delivery date of soon, okay? Which means if you look at it from their point of view, if they can take orders ASAP, including if they're even just a pre-order, right, then they can get their orders in based on current mining profitability, when it will not be as much when these miners hit their destinations and the other manufacturers try to sell their miners and those miners hit their destinations. Just something to understand and be aware of. I wouldn't say these miner manufacturers do not have the best ethics. It has gotten better over time, but again, just understand that. What else you should understand is that Kaspa emission is a very quickly depreciating thing. Kaspa essentially halves the mining rewards annually. It steps down in monthly increments. So right now 131 Kaspa coins are mined per block, and then next month 123 Kaspa coins are mined per block, and then the next month 116 Kaspa coins are mined per block. So if no machine was added to the network as of right now, and if the Kaspa coin traded at the exact same price for the next year, these miners that are making, say, $60 a day would be making $30 a day in a year. So this is a just rapidly moving mining sector. Understand that, be aware, do your own research, do whatever you want to do. What am I doing? How do I feel about this? I kind of think you're a little bit behind the ball to be building out a Kaspa mining farm right now. When you were able to order a bunch of KS3Ms, that was probably like last call prime time. You know, in the beginning, like when they basically came out, that was prime time to build a Kaspa mining farm. If you were bold enough to take that leap, it's working out pretty well for most of those people. For the miners that got the early KS0s, the KS1, the KS2, when those came out early, they've been very lucrative. Pretty much any way you could have gone about mining with them, whether that's mining Kaspa, right, hodling coins, selling daily, mining it straight into Bitcoin and so forth. I don't know how you haven't broken even at best since then, and I'm talking even after you paid an electricity bill. I'm very interested in buying an iBeLink BM-KS miner to review for the tube, for the channel, for the VoskCoin YouTube content creation side of what we do. I'm pretty leery to be building out a mining farm of these. And if I didn't want to make a review video, I don't know if I would be buying one of these to add to my mining farm, right? To throw basically 12 grand at a Kaspa miner right now. Granted, you know, profitable, efficient, better than competition, yes. But for how long? What if Bitmain turns around and drops a Bitmain antminer KS5 and it's twice as good? The iBeLink kiss of death, right? Whenever iBeLink seems to show up with the best miner, and they do this periodically, like they did for Cadena, like they did for CKB, right? 2 other mineable cryptocurrencies, the coins seem to plummet in price. There seems to always be a better miner come out within a few months from a competitor that's not only just a little bit better, but twice as good, making those older models not very profitable, depending on your electricity rate. So I view iBeLink as the bringer of death in my little conspiracy way.
I got a paper trail to prove it. Check this out.
Do I think that, you know, is that something I hold 100% true? Of course not. Do I have a crystal ball? Of course not. But, you know, take from it from what you will, right? I've seen many things over the years, good and bad, but the past doesn't mean the future, but it is good information. And experience is a valuable and cumulative thing. However, and as you become more experienced or jaded, you can make the wrong decisions based on things that happened previously, as opposed to someone with those fresh eyes, you know. But this is the latest scoop. This is my 2 cents on the situation. And in classic FOMO fashion, I want one. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I'm Vosk. Thanks for watching. We're going to close out with 10 seconds of tails. Just looking at me right now, who's a super cutie pup, and I think it's time that we go get a treat. It's time for you to get paid. Yeah. See you later.